Hello there. Happy Friday. Right, on this one, I'm not going to babble my way through it. I'm going to tell you concise information and I'm going to tell you why Beverley is a cash cow. And I don't want to come across like a pompous git or anything like that, but I want to call a spade a spade. And Beverley is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. It cost me £360,000 to set up, and we're making net profit about 180. So we're getting a 50% return on our money every single year. And not only that, we're getting paid twice because you're getting paid once with the money you're getting back, but then also the returns and net profit. But you're also getting paid again because it's increasing in value. There's no way we would sell this for £360,000 now. Um, God knows what it's going to be worth. It is a fantastic site. And another takeaway is that you don't have to have a big site to make it work. This is zero point 0.3 of an acre. 0.3 of an acre, and it's making 150 grand. It is phenomenal. Right, so here's the notes. Beverley is my cash cow. Here's Beverley 2023 versus 2024. Beverley was my first ever site. I had zero clue what I was doing. I know what you're thinking. You still don't. And I've always, you know what? You've always got a lot to learn. And you can, as soon as you think you know everything, I was talking to somebody um, who's very, very high up, and they actually mentioned to me once worked for a big, big, big company, one of the nationals, and there was a high up. I don't know if they're still working there or not. I've got no information whatsoever, but they actually told me saying that the great thing about storage is that once you know things, once you know stuff, you don't need to know anything. It's not complicated at all, and you don't need to learn. You don't basically don't need to educate yourself anymore. I'm like, oh my God, you're high up in one of the national companies and you've got that mentality and that attitude. I know that I can beat you. I might not be as good as you right now when he first said it, but I know that every year I'm catching you up. And I would 1,000,000% say that I would have surpassed that gentleman by now. Easily, easily. And he's very, very high up. And he just said, it was along the lines, I don't know word for word, but it was along the lines of you don't need to educate yourself anymore. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to do conferences. You don't need anything because you just open it, it works. And once you know storage, you know storage. There's nothing more to learn. There's only a limited amount you need to know for self storage to run a self storage. And I'm like, oh, brother. Oh, I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I see where you're coming from. Yeah. I was like, what a numpty. Anyway, so you can always learn. Take away from that. I said I wouldn't go on. Right. Yeah. So I honestly, genuinely had zero clue. I had no idea about pricing. How I did my pricing was I went into Hull, saw a competitor, and thought, do you know what? I'm going to be a pound a week cheaper, or £2 a week. I can't remember. £2 a week, £1 a week. I was in Beverley. For those of you who don't know what Beverley is a York. Beverley is very affluent. Hull, on the other hand, not so much. There's parts of Hull that are nice. My family's all from Hull, by the way, so I'm not taking the mick out of Hull. Some places are all right. Some places are not all right. And this was in a not all right place. And I priced my units on an external container site that they have in Hull. Like, what are you doing? And no wonder I filled up real quick. I had zero clue what I was doing. Right, as ever, we're comparing three different things: closing occupied square foot for the year, total churn for the year, and revenue for the year. So in 2023, we're going to start there. The closing occupancy was 6,425. It was up 3,200 square foot from 2022. So, as you can see here, there's not a lot of square foot there. We took that being open 8 weeks at Mansfield. There's not a lot of square foot. Honestly, I don't know how Beverly does it. I genuinely, genuinely don't. The churn rate was, oh, sorry, yeah, I won't go to churn rate yet. I'll do the closing occupancy for 2024 was 6,345. So we actually lost, well, we lost 100 square foot. We lost about 100 square foot, 120 square foot, I think it is. Oh, no. No, we lost 45, 55, 65, 75 square foot. Yeah, I think so. Anyway, let's move on quickly because we don't do public maths. Why do I keep doing public maths? I make myself look stupid. 55, 65, 75. Yeah, 75. Unless I'm making it complete ass of myself, it's 75 square foot. So it's pretty static. But we're 85% full. So we haven't got a lot to go at anyway. At the minute, I think I saw in the weekly figures that Beverley only has 2 unit sizes available. The rest are all taken. So we don't have a lot of choice. And so occupancy is always going to be around the 80 to 92, 93% full. It's not really going to fluctuate beyond that. I think in 2024, I think it fluctuated to like 69% for a week and shot back up. So it's a funny old site is Beverley. Um, right. So the churn rate in 2023 was 72%. And in 2022, it was 69%. So it increased in 2023 by 3%. And then in 2024, the churn rate went up to 82%. So it increased by 10%. But I know that it's on the 82%. I think it's under the average, but it's a lot higher than what Beverly usually is. But I expected that because I pushed the prices up. I pushed the revenue up, as you'll see in a minute, and we continue to do so as well. So the revenue in 2022 was 158,000. The revenue in 2023, a year later, was 178,000. So we increased it by £20,000. The revenue in 2024 went from 178 to 193. So we increased the revenue by 8%, which was £15,000. That £15,000, remember, a mature site, it drops straight to the bottom line. That's £300 a week extra profit every single week. And at the minute, by the way, we're on track, even though we're about, I think we're about 82% full now. We're on track to increase it again by around about £20,000. I think we'll do more than that. I think we'll increase it by more than £20,000, which is a 10% increase, which is good. Even with occupancy even though occupancy was static, we still managed to increase the revenue. Because if you look at 2022 to 2023, we increased occupancy by three. It was three. I'm going to have to check this out because 2022, the occupancy was only 3,200 square foot. That means we increase. I think that's wrong. I actually think that's wrong. I think the information I've been given here is wrong. I can't imagine that it was only 3,000, was only 50% full at the end of 2022. It might have been the case because it was with COVID. You can come in, buddy. My son, you all right, mate? My son's coming to watch the footy because Man City is starting soon, so we're in the man cave. I'm nearly finished, pal. So if that was the case, we increased occupancy by 3,200 square foot, and we're playing darts, by the way, aren't we, mate? Before the game starts. Yeah, so we increased occupancy by 3,200 square foot, and we only increased revenue by, was it 20 grand? By 20 grand. And we decreased the occupancy by 75 square foot, and we increased the revenue by £15,000. So the revenue management, if that figure is true in 2022, the revenue management was on point in 2024, which I think is super, super important. For you to maximize your site, your revenue management has to be good. And by the way, your expenses are going up. There's no way over the year that normal inflation was 8%. I'm just not having it. So an increase of 8%, I think we need that. We deserve that. So goals for 2025. I personally think a mature site should aim for 10% revenue growth year on year. I know it's going to be tough, but that's what I would like to see. I'm actually going more than that. We're aiming for 16% growth. The revenue goal for 2025, I think we'll hit this comfortably, is 225,000. So yeah, I think we'll get to that, which means that we've taken an extra £30,000 this year, which would be good. That's the goals for 2025. All right, suckers. I don't know why I called you suckers. I'm sorry. You're definitely not suckers. Right. All right, my friends. What are you going to say, buddy? Oh, excuse me, coughing in the microphone. What's that dart, man? He's got a dart right. Bloody not kidding. Yes, what's that, pal? Right. All right, my friends. I'm going to say I love you and appreciate you, even though I called you all suckers. She definitely not. I don't know where that came from. I'm sorry. I'm getting excited about football coming on, playing darts with my kid. And yeah. All right, my friends, and the 2025 goals. All right, don't forget, if you haven't signed up to mrselfstorage.com, what do I do, Zach? Subscribe. We're teaching him well. All right, dudes, dudettes, thank you very much. I am off. See you soon. Bye. Bye.